Welcome students. We are now to discuss the topic double entry system for class 11th accounting. In this topic double entry system, we will understand the impact of it through a definition and how it will help us in solving the practical portion of our subject accountancy. So first of all, we are here to discuss the meaning of double entry system. In a very simpler term, double entry system means a system in which two-side effect is being recorded. What is two-sided effect? Let's discuss with its meaning. It is a system in which at least two accounts are simultaneously affected, that is, one debit and other credit. Now, what is debit and credit? This I might have explained in my previous lectures. Credit is nothing, students. It is simply the increase or the decreased effect in accounting which may apply according to the situation as debit or credit. So at least or minimum two accounts in one transaction when affected is said as double entry system. Further, there are two terms which are simultaneously affected. It is increase or decrease. An increase or decrease is the debit and credit of accounting. Okay. Now, I have prepared an example which it might clear us that what increase and what decrease of an accounting situation. One of the example presented here is purchase goods for cash. Suppose you are a businessman and you are purchasing goods for cash rupees 20,000. Now what this situation will reflect? That you are bringing goods in business of 20,000 and from business your 20,000 cash will decrease. Reason of decrease is because you are purchasing goods. Okay. Now let's see how double entry will affect this statement. Now, before seeing or checking whether the statement is affecting double entry or not, we should understand whether the statement is identified in monetary terms or not, because until and unless a term is monetary in nature, it is not part of accounting. If you remember this, I have taught you in cycle of accounting. Do you remember? Okay. Now this transaction purchase goods for cash 20,000 is reflecting that 20,000 amount of transaction is being affected in business. Once it is affected in business, that means it is a part of business transaction which should be recorded. Now while recording, we will see the increase and decrease effect in accounting. How? Minimum two accounts are affected, which I have written here, at least two accounts. Two accounts which are being affected in this statement are, first is goods account, second is cash account. What is the impact on goods account? When the goods are purchased, you see in your business, goods worth rupees 20,000 will increase, whereas cash worth rupees 20,000 out of the total cash from the business, cash of rupees 20,000 will simultaneously decrease. So what the conclusion says? Two accounts, that is goods and cash, in one transaction, this is said to be transaction, statement is said to be transaction, has affected the increase and decrease effect, which is defined or termed as double entry system of accounting. Is it clear? And when double entry system of accounting will affect? When your transaction is monetary, that means expressed in terms of money, is part of accounting purpose. Okay. Now further, after this understanding, we need to understand that our accounting aspect is classified into two major categories. Number one is personal account, second is impersonal account. Personal account are those accounts which are affecting individual identity, whether natural person, whether artificial person, or whether representative personal account. Now, what is natural personal account? It is name of an individual person. For example, name of Ram, Sham, firm's capital account. Capital account is what? Capital introduced by proprietor. The proprietor who introduces capital is a capital account, drawings account, etc. Which is affecting the identity of a person. Any account which is affecting the identity of a person is natural personal account. Artificial personal account are the persons which do not have their own existence but which are created through law. For example, the bank account. Bank does not have its own identity. It is being framed through the rules and regulations. Once a bank account is prepared, a name is being given to a bank. That name is artificial personal account, who has been defined with a certain name. Similarly, firm's account, name of the firm. हम अगर कोई बिजनेस स्टार्ट करते हैं तो उस बिजनेस का कोई नाम होता है ना, वो नाम क्या है? फर्म्स अकाउंट, which is artificial personal account. And what is representative? Representative personal account is a term in which group of transactions of similar nature are identified and recorded. For example, suppose salary is due for Mr. Ram, who is my employee. Salary of Mr. Sham is also due. Salary of Mohan is due. In such a manner, the salary of the three persons which are due is defining individual identity whose salary is now to be paid. When they are to be paid, they are defined as outstanding, means not paid yet, but has to be paid from the business. That is termed as outstanding. So outstanding is what? Representing a group of persons for whom the payment is to be made but not yet made. Similarly, certain items which has been paid in advance, for example, rent paid in advance. Now, once the rent is paid in advance, it is said as prepaid expense. But these are what category? Representative, representing a group of items or transactions of similar nature, is defined as representative personal account. Clear, student? Now I am moving ahead with the category impersonal account. Very simple to understand. All those accounts which are not personal in nature are defined as impersonal. They are classified further as real and nominal. Real accounts reflect the transactions which are assets or the properties of the business. For example, cash balance. For example, goods of the business, furniture, building, which are being converted into cash or which are used in business, and through that the properties of the business are being consumed and earning capacity of business increases, are said as the transactions for real account. Okay. Now, the last category of classification of account is nominal account. It represents the income and expenses of a business enterprise. All the income and expenses are classified under the account head named as nominal account. For example, salary, rent, electricity bill which are being paid, जो already हमने पे कर दिया है, वो सब हमारे बिजनेस के nominal account है. So I am concluding at last, personal accounts are individual identity, might be natural, might be artificial, might be representative. In personal account, first category is real account, which are classified into the assets or the properties of business which are being converted into cash or realizable into cash through its business use. And nominal accounts are all the income and expenses of a business concern. Now, when we are classifying these accounts are further being said or being applied as some rules of accounting of personal account, real account and nominal account. Certain rules are applied to calculate or to follow the accounting procedure of double entry system, which I will explain on the board. The rules of accounts. Rules of accounts. The first is personal accounts. Second is real account, whereas third is nominal account. The rule of personal account says, as said, every accounting aspect, one will be increase and the other will be decrease, or debit or credit. So one is said to be debit, other is said to be credit. Debit rule says debit the receiver, credit the giver. How it will be applied, this we will discuss in the next lecture. Rule of real account says again debit and credit, since we are following the concept double entry system. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Whereas rule of nominal account, again debit and credit says debit all expense and loss, credit all gain and income. So these are the three rules which are said as golden rules of accounting, which are being applied for recording aspects. That is the second step of accounting cycle, recording of transaction. While recording, we will apply these steps of accounting classification to solve and practice the questions in detail. With these rules of accounting, we will follow in the next class how they are being applied for a given transaction. Okay.